Today, we're going to walk you through every single neighborhood in Fisher's Landing. Hey, welcome back to the Living in Vancouver and Camas, Washington YouTube channel. I'm your host, Hannah Dubyne, and I am excited you guys are here today because we're talking all things Fisher's Landing. We love Fisher's Landing. We consider ourselves experts in this area. Our office is right across the street, and we've made a lot of videos about the area, but we have another exciting one for you guys, and that's going to be, we're going to open up this private map that we've made with every single subdivision in Fisher's Landing, and this is mostly single-family homes, but also some other ones, townhomes, condos, new developments coming soon, and we're going to talk about it. I feel like we really are one of the most well-versed real estate companies on this area, so we're excited to share this knowledge with you guys. By the way, if you haven't already, sign up for Weekend Happenings with Hannah, our weekly email newsletter down below. We put out the best 3, 4, 5 local events every single week for you guys. We handwrite it just for you, and we promise we won't spam you. Okay, let's head over to my computer. All right, welcome to Fisher's Landing. Fisher's Landing, as you guys probably know, is between 164th and 192nd, and it really ends, I would say, formally at 15th Street, but we could say Mill Plain. So it has a pretty strict area that it exists in, pretty rigid boundaries, and it is a very well-loved area. Let's start actually with Fisher's Creek. We have a couple different major designations in the whole Fisher's Landing area. Fisher's Creek is going to be south of 34th. Fisher's Landing proper is going to be between 34th and 15th, and then Bennington we would consider north of 15th up to Mill Plain area. I will start with the Village at Fisher's Landing. The Village at Fisher's Landing is one of the bigger neighborhoods, as you can see here, and it is one of the older neighborhoods as well. It is 80s and 90s homes. This is the only neighborhood in Fisher's Landing, I believe, that has 80s homes, so it's a little bit more outdated. 3-car garages for pretty much everything, quarter-acre lots, think 2,500 to 3,500 square feet, and it's also no HOA. There are very few no HOA neighborhoods in Fisher's Landing, but this is one of them. Really nice homes in here, a lot of families, as you could imagine, a lot of older kids now because folks bought these homes when they were new and they had new kids or were going to have kids, and now their kids have grown up. But a super, super fabulous area. Let's see if we can open up some photos here. There's a couple examples for you of homes in the neighborhood. We sold this one last year, actually earlier this year. Great house. All right, next neighborhood we're going to talk about is the Gardens at Fisher's Landing. This technically subdivision is quite small. It is also no HOA, so you can rent a home here. And I would say these are 2,200 to 3,200 square feet. There's a little open space at the front, which is nice. It's not necessarily a park. Here's one of our listings we had in the area. So you can see the Village Woods open spaces right there. It's literally just like a forest that you can walk around. There's a little path. It's kind of funny. Right next to that, we have Village Vista. Village Vista is also no HOA, which is great, and it was built in the 90s. I would say these homes tend to be more outdated looking and in style. Not a ton of homes come on the market here. More stately, family-size homes, 3-car garages, as you could imagine. Some backload garage homes where you walk up to the front door in the front, and then your garage is in the back in an alley. And I believe this is the only neighborhood in Fisher's Landing that's like that. All right, down south a little bit more, we have the Vista del Rio Manufactured Home Park. We haven't really sold a lot in here just because manufactured homes is not our specialty, but it is a manufactured home park where you purchase the home, but you don't own the land. And that's not super great for most folks in terms of security of their home. So that's why we don't recommend this type of housing. Current space rent is $900 a month. So even if you own the home, you pay $900 a month. And typically you can only buy these units cash. They are tending to sell around the 200 range. And the park is up for sale right now, which is a big point of contention. We have an article linked here that you can read. Because typically when those parks sell, the rent gets increased substantially. And most of the folks living in this park are retired age on fixed incomes. So that's a whole can of worms. Next community for y'all is the Lakes Townhomes. This is an interesting community. It is gated. There's a gate here and there's a gate over here, so you can access it two ways. And there are man-made lakes in the middle. I think they have like fountains. And so, you know, good majority of the homes face the lakes and have a nice view. There's lots of trees back here. You can't really see across all the way. It's pretty private. And it was built by Renaissance homes. The first phase was, and those are kind of the Tudor style. And then the second phase is more modern. I'll show you that in a minute. I guess so this is a picture of the back end gate. And these are the Renaissance homes. Renaissance really only builds in Oregon now, but very quality homes, traditional. And then the other side is 2014, only about 10 years old, built by 𝐍𝐞𝐢𝐠𝐡𝐛𝐨𝐫𝐡𝐨𝐲 homes, much more modern. People like these a lot. They have one-car options. They have 1 stories, 2 stories, 3 stories. So there's a variety of different units in the complex. Not a 55-plus community, but it definitely attracts the older crowd. HOA fees do vary by unit as well. Next community we have is Fisher's Creek by D.R. Horton. This is fun because this is actually under construction right now, and it is right next to SR 14. Most people don't want to live next to the freeway, so I can't imagine what kind of pricing they're going to have here, but it's going to have to be low. These are supposed to be 3 to 4 bedroom homes with only 2 bathrooms, so I don't even think there's going to be a half bathroom on the main floor. Interestingly, these are going to go to Fisher's Landing Elementary School right here, which we haven't seen new homes zone into the school in a long time because this area is all built out. So I think it's going to be really fascinating to see how this community turns out. Very small, narrow homes, tiny lots, 1-car garages, an entry-level product for sure. Next community is the Renaissance townhomes. So after Renaissance was down here, they came up the street, or one or the other, excuse me, and they built these townhomes, and they are not gated. They are mostly 2- and 3-story townhomes. They're very nice homes. Very nice homes. Oh, sorry. There we go. There's a couple pictures. So there's the 3 stories. They have had a repaint recently, so some of the units are gray and some of them are more the original tan color. Now, unfortunately, recently they've had a high HOA fees, like they went up quite a bit. And so right now they're at about $430 a month, and they might have even gone up since then. People just don't really like how high those are, so they're not reselling super well. Next, we have the Gantry's townhomes. These are 2-pack townhomes, so they come attached to one another. See if there's a good picture here, but so it's like 1, 2, so everyone's an end unit, which is ideal. Interesting style, very like pointy. Little map for you guys. So there's a gate right there, just one roundabout. HOAs here are more reasonable. People, I would say, prefer these over these ones down here at the Renaissance. Next neighborhood we have is Hidden Brook Terrace. I would say Hidden Brook Terrace is one of the neighborhoods that's like the heart of Fisher's Creek. It's got a beautiful park here. It's got a nice little trail, as you can see, that runs through. There's another trail here, and lots of beautiful street trees, single family homes, built late 90s, early 2000s. And I would say like average size homes to maybe smaller. So think like 1,500 to 2,500 square feet. Great community. Super great community. Just north of that, we have Hidden Brook, which is also really the heart of Fisher's Creek. 3 and 4 bedroom homes, 2.5 bathrooms mostly 2 stories. Close to Fisher's Landing Elementary. It's right here. There is a gated section, which would be this loop right here on 36th Street. That's gated. So that's a whole different subsection of Hidden Brook. Some nice bigger homes in here too. Honestly, we've sold some that have been 5 bedrooms and mid 3,000s on the square feet, 3-car garage, larger lot. Love the creek that runs through here. That's your Fisher's Creek, of course. Show you some pictures. You see, like, that's a pretty wide house. This is in the gated community. This is one we sold that backs to a green space, great family size home. This one actually had an ADU too, which was fascinating. Another larger home. So we love that community. Last neighborhood in Fisher's Creek area would be the Gables at Hidden Brook Terrace. This is one of the most, if not the most, compact neighborhoods in the Fisher's Landing area. Small lots, narrow setbacks. built early 2000s. You can see the style has changed here. Because the lots are so narrow, they're building vertically. They're always building over the garage in here versus, you know, a more high-end home is not going to build over the garage like this. It's more of a tract setup. They are mostly just going to have one living space, 4 beds, 3 beds, 2.5 bathrooms, open concept. A lot of them have like an island or an L shape, and a great entry-level price for Fisher's Landing area. Less expensive than some of the other neighborhoods. Let's move up more north. Go back to our guide here. Let's talk about the Vancouver Innovation Center first. That's on my list here. It's not technically a neighborhood yet. It's getting redeveloped. So it's going to be a 20-minute city. This was the old site of HP, and really excited for the developer to be taking it over. It's going to be light industrial in the middle, and there's going to be compact housing, townhouses, condos, apartments, probably. There's going to be retail, there's going to be parking, there's going to be other things. There's going to be a walking trail around the edge. We actually have a couple videos up about it. So we have one here with a developer interview, so you can meet Mark, the developer. And then we have another one that's just informational. That one's a little outdated, but feel free to watch that. It's going to be great to live close to this. It's going to be a big deal when this is done, and it's going to be an amazing community hub for the East Side. It'll probably be another 10 years before we're really solid and we have something there. Next neighborhood is Heritage. Heritage is one of the biggest neighborhoods, or one of the bigger neighborhoods, excuse me. It does have a huge park. You can see on the map right here. I mean, look how big that is. It kind of goes down into like a bowl shape, and it is just a fabulous neighborhood. People stay here a long time. They don't like to sell their homes. Everything from smaller to larger homes. Here's an example of a bigger one. 3-car garage, maybe 2,700 square feet, 2,600 square feet. But we also have, you know, 1 levels. I guess I didn't have a 1 level in here. Sorry. Oh, there's a 1 level. 1 levels that are mid 1,000 square feet, 1,500, 1,600, something like that. So people love living in here. A lot of downsizers, retirees, I would say. Next neighborhood just north of that would be the Firs at Town Center. I would say this is a less popular neighborhood for Fisher's Landing. It hasn't stayed as nice as some of the other ones, but still very nice overall. Built in the 90s, so the homes feel a little older. They do have a park that is more of a green space. It doesn't have like a kid's playground that I'm aware of. I think we had quite a bit of vinyl siding in this neighborhood too. Yeah, we had vinyl siding, which the vinyl siding just does not resale as well because it doesn't look as good. Next up, we have 405 Town Center, which is just north of the last neighborhood. Also built in the 90s, very distinct style here. A lot of backload garages, which are not as popular in our area. So I've shown you guys these before. You walk up in the front, you got an alleyway in the back. Front porches were nice. Vinyl siding, again, I believe same developer or builder as Firs at Town Center. Next, we have the cottages at Fisher's Landing, and these are condos. These are not townhouses, these are condos. So this is a gated neighborhood, and it's just one loop. They're kind of like Tudor style, I want to say. They're very like cottagey looking. There is quite a bit of visual interest here. There's different styles. They're not all the same. Some of them have porches, and some have 2-car garage. Some have 1-car garage. Some are more townhouse style. Here's more the townhouse style. They have different colors painted on them. There is a very small common area here. I wouldn't consider it a park. HOA fees are pretty high here because it's a condo. It's $675 a month in 2025. It's an interesting community, and it's good for, I would say, people who want a hands-off lifestyle, but you will pay quite a bit in HOA fees. Next neighborhood, one of our biggest in Fisher's Landing, is Clear Meadows. Clear Meadows is super popular. It's got small homes, medium homes, I would say maybe a little bit larger homes, but nothing like crazy. You'd want to go down south for the really big stuff. Just a typical, quintessential Fisher's Landing community. They did a lot of these arched garage doors in this community, so I always know when I see a picture, I'm like, oh, that's got to be Clear Meadows. Here's one right here. This one was nice. It was remodeled inside. It does have a nice park as well in the middle here. It's a big park. I'm sorry I didn't put any pictures of it on here. I think next we'll go Summers Walk. Summers Walk is a very popular neighborhood in Fisher's Landing. It is, I would consider, one of the most affordable neighborhoods in the area because the lot sizes are small and the houses are small, but they're still single family. So we see homes here as small as about 1,100 square feet. And those are like ranches, 3 beds, 2 baths, up to, I would say, 1,800 square feet. There are some in the 2000s, but not a ton. These are smaller homes. Lots of 1 levels here, and pretty much everything is a 2-car garage. There's no 3 cars here. We do have a driving tour up of this, so feel free to check that out. Here's some example photos. Very similar to Clear Meadows, just a little smaller. And also really awesome park in here. It goes all throughout. We have a whole tour up of Fisher's Landing as well, and I show you guys the parking tour, so check that out. All right, let's hop over and look at Fisher's Grove South and North. So technically they're different neighborhoods. I would say the South neighborhood is bigger. It has larger homes, 3-car garages, versus the north side of the neighborhood doesn't really have as many large lots, 3-car garages, larger plans. These 2 neighborhoods are no HOA as well. So a lot of these have actually turned into rentals. This neighborhood hasn't stayed quite as nice, but still overall a lovely area. Let's look at Northfield. Northfield has 2 parts to it. It has the single family and the condos. Technically, they're a part of the same HOA. Northfield is very similar to Summers Walk. Sometimes I'll see pictures of one or the other and I'll mix it up. They do have a park, so there's a picture of the park. And yeah, very similar to Summers Walk. Smaller, not sure what else I would say about it. Condos. I like these condos a lot. These are nice little condos. They've got front porches. People keep their backyards open. You're not allowed to fence your backyard here. These are 2 and 3 bedroom plans with 2 to 2.5 bathrooms. Some of them are 1 level and some of them are 2 level. In 2025, they're selling in the 400s, I would say. Some of the garages are oversized too. This is kind of a good picture. But you can see this is where another unit starts. Like, they have a lot of space on that side. And they honestly have a lot of space on that side. Not a 55-plus community again, but it tends to attract that crowd. Columbia Heights is an interesting neighborhood, more in the Bennington area. Homes here don't really come up for sale super often. I would say this is a hidden gem because it's right next to the elementary school, Columbia Valley Elementary School, part of Evergreen School District. And you do have connection to the Columbia Tech Center Park. And I love this park. I was literally here yesterday running. It's gorgeous. It's got an amphitheater. They have farmers markets there. They have a really cool kids playground. They have a loop you can do. They have a little man-made lake pond thing. So I would bet that's one of the reasons things just don't come for sale. But great neighborhood. We just don't see a lot there for folks to buy. Next neighborhood we have is English Ridge. I feel like English Ridge doesn't have a ton of personality. I don't see things come for sale here super often. I guess that's all the photos I had. Again, it was vinyl siding originally, which really just does not look as nice. But still in the lovely area of Fisher's Landing. Probably wouldn't be my top choice though. Last subdivision we have in the Bennington area would be Hannah Acres. Love that name, by the way, Hannah Acres. Average size homes, 1,500 to maybe 2,200 square feet. It is close to a park. Again, a lot of vinyl siding in here, which I don't love, but you can see this first person redid theirs at some point. It looks better. So the Hannah Acres Park is right here. It's just an open space with mature evergreen trees. It doesn't have a playground. So that's everything we have for you guys today to share about Fisher's Landing, Fisher's Creek, and Bennington area. I would say this is all considered Fisher's Landing though. We hope this is super helpful if you live in Fisher's Landing now or you're considering moving to the area. If you need help professionally selling or buying a home in Clark County, we'd love to serve you. Reach out to our team at Dubyne Realty Group. Our information will be down below, and we can't wait to see you guys again soon. Bye!